Mr. Sushant Bharat Singh is a assistant professor of yoga and science of living at Auro University, Surat. Mr. Sushant serves as an assistant professor of yoga and science of living at Auro University, Surat. He's raised in the esteemed yogic environment of Kaivalya Dham Yoga Institute, Lonavala. He brings over a decade of professional experience in yoga education and training. He is currently pursuing a PhD in yoga therapy at the Institute of Salutogenesis and Complementary Medicine, Sri Balaji Vidyapeeth, Pondicherry, with a research focus on enhancing undergrad student well-being through yoga. Sushant holds a master's degree in Science of Living Yoga, a postgraduate diploma in yoga education, and multiple certifications from renowned institutions. Since 2010, he has trained more than 1,500 yoga teachers from over 30 countries and has conducted international sessions in the UAE, UK, Austria, Slovakia, Tanzania, and Azerbaijan. He is a UGC NET qualified scholar, a JRF awardee, a level 3 certified yoga teacher and evaluator by the Ministry of Ayush, and a life member of Indian Yoga Association. So, Sir's session today is titled as Yoga for Wellbeing, an Integral Approach. This session will offer us a critical appraisal insight into yoga as integrative therapies and their outcomes. So, dear sir, we look forward to hearing from you. And the session starts with you. So you can start sharing your screen.
Namaste. My pranams to all. Firstly, I would like to thank Dr. Anjali for introducing me, Dr. Gaurav for inviting. It is an honor for me to be here at this platform and share knowledge, wisdom, and the teachings of yoga. I hope my voice is clear and I'm clearly audible. Can someone please confirm that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your voice is clear.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Anjali.
Yes, sir.
So, this being a post-lunch session,
yes,
we know the drawbacks of having a post-lunch session. Post-lunch is an excellent time to do Shavasana, but to do a talk or an experiential session, it is difficult. So I just thought of looking at the positive side. What are the benefits of post-lunch session? And can yoga be practiced post-lunch session? That brings to the most fundamental question as to what is yoga. I will be covering in this session what is yoga, the history behind it, and what yoga has to offer for the well-being of humanity. This year's International Day of Yoga theme is in line with it. That is yoga for one world, one health. Let us begin this session by invoking the grace of the lineage of Yoga Parampara. It will be nice if some of you can turn on your cameras.
I request participants if they can turn on their video. I request participants kindly turn on your video camera.
This will be partly experiential as well as theoretical session.
Yes, yes.
We will begin by invoking the blessings of the yoga masters. First, by connecting with ourselves. Be in a posture that is comfortable for you, with minimum strain or tension in your legs. Feel the weight of your body on your both hips. Let go of any strain that is there in your legs. Feel and concentrate on your abdomen. Observe the movement of your abdomen. No tension there. Keep your abdomen loose. Feel your back. Slightly elongate your spine as you inhale, maintaining the comfort. Bring your awareness towards your chest. Feel the movement in your chest, synchronizing it with your breath. With every exhale, relax, let go of the tension from your chest. With every inhale, allow it to expand. Feel and relax your shoulders, arms, face, eyes. Keep your eyes soft and feel your breath. Feel the sensation of air moving in from your nose into your windpipe to your lungs. Similarly, feel the sensation of air moving out from your lungs through your nostril. Visualize this air passage. Now bring your attention towards your heart. The masters of yoga, the rishis, have said deep within our heart resides the divine being. Feeling the presence of the divine light within the heart, bring hands together in Namaskar close to the heart, and let us invoke the blessings of the gurus of yoga tradition. Om yogena chittasya padena vacha malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarotam pravaram munina patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abahu purushakaram shankhachakrasidharinam sahasra shirasham shvetam pranamami patanjalim. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. With the next inhale, I would like all of you to lift your hands up, stretch your hands up. With the exhale, bring your arms down from the sides. Again, with the next inhale, lift your hands up, bring them in Namaskar. Exhaling, bring them back to your heart. We'll repeat this once again. Inhaling, lift your hand up, stretch up. Exhaling, bring your arms down from the sides. Inhaling, lifting your arms up from the sides, bringing hands together. Exhaling, bring your hands down to your chest. Release your hand. I would like to begin by asking one question to all of you. We often heard the name yoga. At times we hear the word yoga, Y-O-G-A, written in English, And when we read it in Hindi, we read it as yog. So often this question comes to our mind. What is the correct word? Is it yoga or is it yog? Can anyone, or I would like all of you to answer. Please answer in the chat box. What do you feel is the correct pronunciation? Is it yoga or is it yog? Do they have access to write in the chat section? Anjali ji?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They can type in the chat section. Even they can unmute themselves and answer. Any of the participants, if they want to answer, they can unmute and answer. Yeah, yeah.
Yoga.
Yes.
Yogesh.
Yes, answers are coming.
Yoga, yoga, yog. So it's a 50-50. So 4 are awake. Others might have gone into deep samadhi, it feels like. Yog. Yog. Okay, so majority are voting for yog. Just 10 seconds more. Yoga, yog. 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 Yoga, yog. Thank you, Anjali ji, for answering. Yog. Raghav ji, it's yog, it's not yoga. Shruti ji is saying no, it is yoga. And Suresh ji is saying it is sadhana. Okay, the question was what is the correct pronunciation? Is it yoga or is it yog? Okay, then majority of you have answered yoga, yog, fine. Then why do we call it the International Day of Yoga and not International Day of Yoga? Was there a mistake? You might have heard that it was our Honorable Prime Minister in 2014. He proposed in United Nations General Assembly that we should celebrate the International Day of Yoga, which was unanimously accepted by 177 countries, which was a new record. And the year 2015, we celebrated the first International Day of Yoga. This year, we are going to celebrate the 11th IDY. By now, we should know what is correct, yoga or yog. Well, my friends, the answer is, it is a Sanskrit word and the Sanskrit word is yoga. It is neither yog, it is neither yoga. When we write the word yoga in English, we write it as yoga. And that's why people have started pronouncing it as yoga. Whereas in Hindi, we write it as yog. I'll just try if I can share my screen.
Bas,
Just trying to share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Does it look like this? Like communicate with the comments?
It's a whiteboard.
Yeah, it's a whiteboard. Yes.
Thank you for confirming. Well, it's not the best medium to write on the whiteboard when you're typing with the laptop. In Sanskrit, we read this as yoga. We don't read it as yog. In Hindi, this is read as yog. संस्कृत में इसे हम योग पढ़ते हैं. संस्कृत में अगर मुझे योग लिखना है, if I have to write योग in Sanskrit, this is how I'm going to write. with a halant. So the correct word is yoga, not yog, neither yoga. Okay. I thought in this session, I will highlight few other things, few important things about yoga, because when I interact with academicians, they get surprised. Oh, you're doing a PhD in yoga. Is yoga even a recognized higher education subject? What is there like in masters or doing a PhD in yoga? Do you have to perform certain asanas and based on that you get the marks? So my friends, yoga is not only asana. Asana is just one part of yoga. Yoga is much more. And it is really unfortunate that very few people know our own culture, what is there in yoga. The two books that became very popular in yoga, and probably I can say they were the main reasons why yoga became famous internationally, were number one, Light on Yoga. If you're a yoga practitioner, I'm sure you might have heard about this book, Light on Yoga, which is written by BKS Iyengar, one of the most renowned Yogasana guru who traveled across the world and taught asana. The second book, which again became very popular internationally, is the Asana Pranayama Mudra Bandh, written by Swami Satyanand Saraswati, who founded the Bihar School of Yoga. BKS Iyengar was a student of Sri Krishnamacharya ji, and Sri Krishnamacharya ji was the one who introduced yoga to the common public at the Mysore Palace. When the Westerners saw this, when they saw these books, and both of these books were written around the 20th century, what they said was, if we look at these asanas, they look as if they have modified the physical education, the PT training that we give in our European countries, and from that they have developed yoga. So this was their understanding, that yoga has come from the West. Then we did some scientific research in yoga. I feel very proud to share that I studied at one of the institute in yoga, which is 101 years old now, established in 1924, which is considered as the first institute to do scientific research in yoga. Back in 1924, and it was founded by Swami Kuvalyanandji. When he did his scientific research, he started at a medical college at Baroda in Gujarat. To publish his work, he couldn't find a suitable journal. So he started his own journal, which is still existing till date. It is called Yoga Mimamsa, right from 1924, which has both scientific research on the yogic practices as well as philosophico-literary research on yogic practices. So we did some studies to find out that the asanas that we perform are found in scriptures written much, much before. For example, there's a scripture called Hatha Yoga Pradipika or Gheranda Samhita or Shiva Samhita. These are the texts in which you will find techniques of asanas, pranayama described. And you know when these books were written, for example, the Hatha Yoga Pradipika by Swatmaram, it was written around 14th century AD. That means more than 700 years back. So it was a false claim that the Westerners tried to impose, that the yoga asanas have evolved out of the Western physical education and PT practices. And many of us do not know this, that Hatha Yoga Pradipika 700 years back describes the asana practices, pranayama practices, how it is done, the mudras, the meditation techniques as well. Going back further, the first ever systematic book that was written on yoga was the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, which was written around 2nd century BC. So more than 2000 years back. So many of us know Patanjali just as a brand, the products that are there. And Swami Ramdev ji has done great contribution in the field of yoga to popularize yoga to every household. But somehow it got limited to only the asana and pranayama practices. And many still do not know that Maharishi Patanjali was actually a rishi who lived 2000 years back. And Rishi Patanjali did three great contributions in his life. Number one, in the field of yoga. I just started the class with the invocation Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham. Second, in the field of Sanskrit grammar. If any one of you have studied Sanskrit grammar, I'm sure you might have heard the name of Patanjali. Third, in the field of Ayurveda as well. Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Cha Vaidike. So his greatest contribution, I would say, is the Yoga Sutra, where he has given around 195 and 196 sutras, depending on the manuscripts we find. We find two versions, one with 195 sutras, one with 196 sutras. And this is often taught in many foreign universities as well as yoga psychology, where Maharishi Patanjali has given beautiful techniques how we can train our very mind and go beyond the mind. Going back further, Patanjali was the first person to put all the practices of yoga together in a systematic way. But in the very first sutra, he himself is saying, Atha Yoga Anushasanam, that he is doing the Anushasan of yoga. He is following and systematizing the teachings of yoga. That means yoga existed even prior to Patanjali. When we read the Vedas and the Upanishads, we do find description of yoga there as well. And these were written much before, almost 3000 years back. Going back further, when we did excavation of the Indus Valley civilization, I'm sure you have heard about the Indus Valley civilization, which dates back to 3000 BC. We found seals, to be specific, the seal number 420 that was found in the excavation, where a person is seated in a meditative yoga pose, the Bhadrasana position. So we can definitely say this, the science of yoga has existed on this very land, the Bharat Bhumi, for more than 5,000 years. And if a science has existed for more than 5,000 years, there's definitely something great into it. As we advance in modern research today, in fact, we appreciate the science of yoga more and more. Whereas many fitness practices are there that has evolved from the Western countries, which beautifully work on your muscles. So on your biceps, triceps, quadriceps. Whereas in yoga, we do not limit it to only the muscles. The yogic understanding of a human body goes much deeper. We are not only the muscles. We have a physical body, which in the yoga philosophy, we call it the Annamaya Kosha, the body that is made from the food that we eat. Then we have the pranic body. Our energy channels, our nadis, which is called as Pranamaya Kosha, which is subtler to the physical. The third that is very important for all of us is our mind. And we know it today that just how if we are just feeding our physical body food, we have shelter, we have enough rest, yet we fall sick, yet we remain disturbed. That is not enough. We are not only physical, we have a mental body, which is known as the Manomaya Kosha. We have our emotions. And in yoga, it goes even beyond there is something that we call as Atman, the soul. So yogic practices are developed in such a way that it works at all these levels. That is the beauty of yoga, and that is one of the reasons why yoga is becoming more and popular as we do scientific researches on yoga. I'm sure you got an opportunity to hear from one of leading scientific researcher on yoga, Dr. Sadbir Khalsa, who was the speaker yesterday. The kind of work they are doing is amazing. We are also studying neuroplasticity with yoga. Just like the physical body, your muscles can be trained, can become stronger. Similarly, the neuronal pathways, new neuronal pathways can be created through the practice of yoga. If today you search the evidence-based literature that are available in yoga, they are amazing. The practices are not only for the weight loss, but the kind of impact it has on our internal organs is really amazing. What is lacking is our understanding of yoga. Today, I'm going to share few practices that can be done even after you have had your meal. Something that can be done by someone who has only 2 minutes. The main challenge with all of us is that there is good amount of literature available. We know that yoga is good for us, just that we are not able to do it. We know practicing asana is good for us. Sleeping early is good for us. Eating healthy is good for us. Reducing screen time is good for us. Having adequate water is good for us. Doing exercise is good for us. But we are not able to do it. We have heard about the psychoneuroimmunology, how your psychic, your mental state affects your nervous system, which affects your endocrine system and your immune system. So we know that being in a state of anger, being in a state of violence is not good for us. We know this. And we know that we don't want to get into that state, but we still end up getting into that state. How do we come out from that? For this, we find solutions in the teachings of yoga, in the teachings of Maharishi Patanjali. Maharishi Patanjali, when he introduced yoga, he explained that yoga has 8 limbs. Ashtanga Yoga. Can anyone explain what are these 8 limbs? Can you let me know in the chat section? Do you know what are the 8 limbs? Anyone? You've heard about what are the Ashtanga Yogas? The 8 limbs of yoga given by Maharishi Patanjali. Any one of those?
I request participants to interact with Mr. Saurabh, Mr. Sushant, sorry, Mr. Sushant. I request all the participants, you can write your answers in the chat box.
Yeah, even if you remember one, that's okay. There are 8 limbs of yoga, any one that you remember. Yogasana, very good, Suresh ji. Thank you for sharing. Yama, Niyama, Pranayama, very good, Dr. Shivani Gehlot. So we got 4. Dr. Shivani shared Yama, Niyama, Pranayama. Suresh Babuji shared Yogasana. Dr. Bhumika shared about Dhyan, Samadhi. There's one remaining. Deveshi, very nice Samadhi. Swati ji got that one. Dharana. Shruti ji has said Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. Absolutely right. It's in the perfect order, the way it is given by Maharishi Patanjali. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. These are the 8 limbs of yoga, Ashtanga yoga. Now, what are limbs? Look, if we look at our own body, we have one hand, two hands. These are called limbs. Imagine if you remove one of the hand away from the body, do you feel the hand can function when it is not part of the body? My question, I'm repeating again. If the hand is removed from the body, do you feel the hand can still function? No. The hand has to be a part of the body. Similarly, the Ashtanga yoga, when we have to practice, if you're just doing asana, that too only as a physical exercise, it cannot be called as yoga. It may be some exercise. We should understand what are these 8 limbs and apply them, then it is yoga. The first one, yama. Many of us know these names, these terms, but how to practice them? There are 5 yamas. Anyone knows what are these 5 yamas? There are 5 yamas. Also 5 niyama. Panchabhut. No, Panchabhut are different concept. Sureshji, they are not the yama. What are the 5 yama? In fact, the yamas and niyamas, I'm waiting. Anyone who knows, please type it down. In fact, the yamas and niyamas are like the foundation of all the yoga practice. So, yeah, Dr. Shivani has shared Ahimsa, Satya, Brahmacharya. Yeah, those are the 3. 2 more remaining. Thank you, Dr. Shivani. Akashi, Satya. 2 are remaining. Aparigraha, Vaishali ji, very good. Shruti Nayak ji has said Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Aparigraha, and Brahmacharya. Very nice. So these are the 5 yamas. Asteya, Brahmacharya. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, and Aparigraha. Very good. Thank you, Shruti ji, for sharing that. It's good that at least we know what these are. Out of these 5, today I'm going to focus on Ahimsa, the very first. How do we practice it? Yoga, one of the great master of yoga, Sri Patabi Joyce, who was a student of Krishnamacharya ji, he used to say that yoga is 1% theory and 99% practice. We have heard Ahimsa, and I'm sure Ahimsa is a word that is known by all. We have studied it probably in our history book. Gandhiji used to practice Ahimsa, Satya. But what is the practice of Ahimsa? How do we do it? If anyone can unmute and share, how do you practice Ahimsa? That will be great. And remember, this is just the first practice. Asana, pranayama, and all those come much later. The very first practice given by Patanjali is Ahimsa. Can anyone share, how do you practice Ahimsa? The practice of Ahimsa is very important practice when it comes to healing, when it comes to yoga chikitsa, yoga therapy that we call. My friends, yoga therapy is very different than yogopathy. There's a beautiful article that you can read written by Professor Ananda Balayogi Bhavnani. He's one of my mentor on yoga therapy, yoga chikitsa versus yogopathy. Yogopathy is like, okay, the person has diabetes, do 2 rounds of Viparita Karani, 2 rounds of Ardha Mashendra Asana, and 2 rounds of Brahmari Pranayam. That is yogopathy. Yoga therapy is you look at the person, not only at the physical body, but the mental, emotional, because everything needs to be taken care of. If you just give asana, remember the limb which is not part of the body doesn't function, doesn't work. It is no longer yoga. So, unless and until the practice of ahimsa happens, the asana practices will not help you to heal properly. It is very important to have this understanding of ahimsa. And I feel maybe in the coming future, we can see more and more evidence-based researches coming up where the effect of practicing ahimsa can be documented well. We now have good amount of literature available on various asana techniques and pranayama techniques, but very few literature are available on the practice of ahimsa. This is an area that can be explored. Being an academician and researcher, this is something that you can take up. After this session, I'm sure you will have a good understanding of how to practice ahimsa. Now, I could see some of you have answered. Shweta ji said not to harm others. Deepti ji said not hurting. Dr. Narendra Parihar ji said avoid harming others. Dr. Vaishali said not to harm other living organism. Akash ji said avoid harm others. Now, can you see from all these answers, what I hear is not hurting, avoiding, not doing something. You're just telling about the action not to do something. Whereas Patanjali is saying that this is a practice to be done. Then what is the practice that you have to do? You're only telling what not to do. And this is the main reason why people are not able to practice ahimsa, because we do not have the clarity. I would say I was fortunate enough to be born and brought up in Kevaradham Yoga Institute, my father being a yoga teacher, where the fundamental of these practices were exposed. And I have seen some amazing result in people. When they started practicing ahimsa, I bring it as a part of yoga therapy. Healing is much better, much faster, along with the asana and pranayama. Let me explain ahimsa. To understand ahimsa, giving what you have. Giving what you have is more of aparigraha to me, Shrutiji, not ahimsa. We are still discussing the first yama, that is ahimsa. Okay. It is easy for all of us to understand what is hinsa. The mind easily understands what is hinsa. Correct? Negative things, easy for the mind to understand. Hinsa can be at 3 levels. Number 1, physical hinsa, where you physically hit someone. And I'm sure that majority of you don't do that. I hope we are living in a society. There are rules, regulation, law. So majority of us do not get into that category of hinsa. The second is verbal hinsa, where you curse the other person, you blame the other person. This at times do happen even between two partners. And this is also a really bad form of hinsa. If we have some child psychologist here, they can share that how bad it is for a child to always hear that you're not good enough, you're really bad, you can't even do this, you can't even do that. It is a form of hinsa because that will hamper the growth of that child. And it can even have impact on not only the mental health, but also on the physical health. So this is the second kind of hinsa, the verbal hinsa. I'm sure some of us do get into verbal hinsa. Some of us may say, okay, that only happens when I get angry, when I get triggered. But usually I don't get into the verbal hinsa. The first one I never do, the physical hinsa. Verbal hinsa, once in a while I do. Now, third level of hinsa is the mental hinsa. Mental means hinsa by thought and feeling. What is this Hinsa? That you have violent thoughts, thoughts of anger towards others, or it could be towards yourself. Blaming others, or it could be towards yourself. All these come under the category of Hinsa. And I am very, very sure that if we look at ourselves, the third form of Hinsa is the one that we get into the most of the time. And Maharishi Patanjali says, I'm here to help you for the third form of Hinsa. Remember, yogena chittasya. Yoga is for the chitta, the mental violence. I'll give one example, which will make the things clear. Let's hear a story. The story is there are two people walking in a park. One is a very strong person, very strong persona, almost more than 6.5 feet tall, strong build, somewhat like our Khaliji, the WWE wrestler. You can imagine a very strong person, and he's walking in the park. Next to that person is a very weak person who's very thin, looks malnourished, is barely able to stand properly, is walking and swinging with the air. Now, both the people, they're walking in opposite direction. They come close to each other in the park, and accidentally they hit each other's shoulders. That just happened accidentally. Immediately, the strong person looked at him and said, "Abhi dekh kar chal. Look at the way how you're walking. Can't you see?" And the other person, who is very weak, malnourished, he simply stands there quietly. He does not respond, very silent. He looks very peaceful. And both of them pass by. Now, our common understanding will say this person, the strong person, he got a bit into the state of violence. Verbally, hinsa kiya usne, correct? Whereas the person who was very weak, he's such a silent person. He's such a nice person. He never gets angry. Huh? He's the one who's really a hinsak. Now let us analyze this scenario by going towards the subtle body. Remember that we are not only the physical body, we have a mind, we have our emotions. Now, what is happening in person one's inner body, the subtle body? Khali. He hits the person, probably he abuses the weak one for just 5 seconds, and then he goes off and he's not even thinking about it. His mind is silent, he's enjoying his walk. Now, the second person, the very weak person, when the incident took place, he did not respond anything. But immediately after the incident, in his mind, his feelings are like, why I didn't stand up for myself? Why I didn't take step for myself? How dare he do that? He's strong so he can bully me. Next time he's here, I'll bring more friends with me. Next time he's here, I will get one stick and hit him. Why I didn't stand for myself? I should have stood for myself. So what? He's strong. He's in a park. And now this person is in this state for the next few hours. And maybe he is not even getting sleep in the night. Now, if we look at the subtle body for both of them, I would say the level of hinsa for Kali is probably out of 100, maybe just 1 or 2%. And for this other person, it is like almost 80 to 90% because he is in the mental hinsa state. He's blaming himself, why he didn't stand up, how he could have done it better. He's blaming the stronger person. He's blaming the society. He's blaming himself. So he is more in the state of hinsa as compared to the first person. Are you understanding this? If yes, can I get a thumbs up that you understood this example? Can all of you share a thumbs up? Yes, you understood this example. You understood that how the second person who appears peaceful, silent, is actually in a more hinsak state, the hinsa that is expressed by Maharishi Patanjali. And we know the scientific researchers have shown when we are in that state, the state of agitation, the state of anger, when we blame ourselves, a lot of stress hormones get secreted in our body. To name a few, adrenaline, cortisol. And where is this hormone secreted in our body? My friends, hormones are secreted in the blood, and blood gets circulated to every part of our body. So it has an impact to almost every part of our body. The breathing becomes a bit faster. The heart has to pump more. The blood glucose level also slightly goes up. And the body remains in stress. And if we constantly remain in the state of hinsa for few months, few years, it becomes a habit. Your mind just becomes like that. Even a small thing can trigger you and you go into a state of anger, blaming others, hating yourself. This is not good for your health, my friends. This is not good for your health. So we know that this is not good. What should we do? We know being peaceful is good. We know being mentally balanced is good, but how to be that? And that is exactly what the practice of Ahimsa is all about. And this is beautifully described by Maharishi Patanjali ji in the second chapter called the Sadhana Pada of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. He has given a technique how, if you are in that state of hinsa, if you feel that more naturally you go into that disturbed state of mind where you start blaming yourself or the others or the system or the society, then you need to practice this. He calls it Pratipaksha Bhavanam. I repeat, the name of the practice is Pratipaksha Bhavanam. Pratipaksha literally means the opposite side, and Bhavanam literally means the feeling. Now, I would like you to answer this. When you think about the feeling, now remember, he has not said Pratipaksha thought. He has said Pratipaksha Bhavanam. Bhavanam is the feeling. If there's a feeling of anger, there's a feeling of hatred, there's a feeling of violence that is there. What could be the opposite feeling of that? I want you to answer that in the chat box. What you feel according to you is the opposite of that feeling. I'm not talking about the action. I'm not talking about the thought. I'm talking purely about the feeling. The feeling of anger, what do you feel is the opposite of that? Let me know in the chat box. Suresh Babuji has shared love. Mausami Das Gupta ji has shared peace. Beautiful. Calm. Very nice. Harmony. So can you think of an occasion where you're feeling peaceful and you're feeling angry? No, it is the opposite. You're feeling hate, self-blaming, and you're feeling love towards yourself and towards other people. No, it is the opposite. Calm, harmony, beautiful. Whatever you have written is beautiful. And now we have to put it into practice. Let's do this practically. I request that all of you, for 2 minutes, try this practice. It will take only 2 minutes, not more than that. Keeping everything aside, especially if you have a phone kept next to you, or if you are watching on this phone, keep the notifications off. Make sure there is minimum disturbances next to you. Let's just try this practice for 2 minutes. The practice is that we are going to cultivate the feeling of peace. For now, we have taken the example of peace. This practice can be done with love, harmony, calm, other feelings as well. For now, we are doing it with peace, because peace is definitely opposite of the feeling of anger, violence. Peace. Our scriptures If we read the Sankhya Darshan, the Yoga Darshan is based on that. The way it describes the Purusha, the soul is always peaceful. The very nature of soul is Sat Chit Anand. So can we cultivate this feeling within us that I am a peaceful soul? So what you have to do is, as you inhale with the inhalation, repeat in your mind, I am, and as you exhale, repeat in your mind, a peaceful soul. I am a peaceful soul. Remember that you have to feel it from your heart. Feel it from your heart. Feel it from your heart. That's very important. Let's just do it for, okay, 1.5 minutes. Let's all do it for 1.5 minutes. Your time starts now. With every inhale, I am. With every exhale, a peaceful soul. Feel it from your heart. Stop after completing this round. I would love to hear from you, either in the chat section or through your thumb. Let me know how you're feeling after doing this. Do you feel more disturbed, more angry? Then you can have your thumbs down. Or if you're feeling calmer, relaxed, peaceful, happy, you can have your thumbs up. Or you can let me know in the chat section. Just by doing this practice of 1.5 minutes of Ahimsa, how are you feeling? How are you feeling by doing this 1.5 minutes of practice? And to do this practice, you did not require any special equipment. You didn't have to spend any extra money to do it. You did not need a very big park or even a yoga mat. You could just do it from your desk. How do you feel after doing this 1.5 minutes? Dr. Anjali shared that she's feeling good. Seema ji is saying thankful, gratitude. Suresh ji is feeling good. Suman ji is feeling good. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you very much for sharing that. Feeling nice, sir. Thank you. Thank you. A lot of people are saying feeling nice. Akash ji, Shruti ji, Anup ji, Suresh ji, Dr. Satyajit Tripathi, Parul ji has expressed gratitude. Dr. Prashant ji has said great and nice session. Thank you for sharing all this. So my dear friends, this is the practice of Ahimsa. It's a practice, one has to do it. Ahimsa is not about not doing, not harming. It is a practice that you need to do. Cultivate the feeling of peace. Cultivate the feeling of love. And the more and more you do it, Scientifically, what you're doing is you're creating new neuronal connection, new pathways. So your very nature will change. Your very thinking habits will change. Otherwise, what happens is we remain in a loop. We once get into negativity and then everything appears negative because our mindset has become like that. But if you start doing this, you'll start seeing the shift. When to do it? How long to do it? Maharishi Patanjali says the practice of ahimsa is a mahavrat. Desha, irrespective of the place where you are, irrespective of the time, you should practice it. It's a mahavrat. So just like when we get our free time, I know all of us are working professions. Majority of us are into academics or into research. We are doing a great contribution towards the society. We can make the contribution even better when we feel good. Our productivity will definitely go up. Usually, whenever we get some free time, our tendency nowadays has become that we pick up our phone. We may just see what is there, one notification, one reel or one shot, and then we may end up wasting just half an hour or 1 hour, and then we feel bad. Whenever we face a problem, we do that. That did not help us to come out of the problem. If it did, you ask anyone who has the phone with them for 24 hours, they don't become a better person. They don't feel better. Their health only deteriorates. But if you start the practice of ahimsa, whenever you get your free time, that half an hour time that you get, whenever, it's not that it has to be one straight half an hour. You can do it just for 2 minutes, then again 2 minutes, and again 2 minutes. And if you're living in a big cities where you spend a lot of time in travel, where you have to sit in a bus or a shared car or in a train, you can do it even while traveling. The more you do, the better you become. So dear friends, this is the practice of ahimsa. It is a practice to be done. It is not something to be avoided. Similarly, the other yamas are there. That is satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. I cannot go into all of this. Probably for that, we'll need to have more sessions to cover all of them. Satya, for example, the understanding of a yogi for Satya is what you say, what you feel. If you do that, you're following Satya. Then your body knows. For example, you decide for yourself that, okay, I felt amazing by doing this ahimsa practice and it just took 2 minutes. Correct? Just 2 minutes. I'm going to do it every day. If not half an hour, at least 2 minutes, I will do it every day. You decided this for yourself. And while deciding, you just felt it. The next day, you're doing it. The fact that you're doing it, you're practicing Satya. Satya is what you feel, what you want to do, you're doing it. That is practicing of Satya. A classical example of not following Satya is, I want to get up tomorrow morning 6 a.m. and start yoga practice. You set up an alarm for 6 a.m. and exactly at 6 a.m., your body says, maybe from tomorrow, not today. Today the weather looks a bit low. So let me snooze the alarm for 10 minutes. At 6:10, अभी भी weather कुछ improve नहीं हुआ है. थोड़ा 10 मिनट और आराम कर लेते हैं. You snooze it again to 6:20, 6:30. My friends, what happens when you keep doing this? You are bringing down your willpower. This does have an impact on your nervous system as well. It is seen those who are into deep meditation practices, into yoga sadhana, their prefrontal cortex and the insula, the gray matter in the brain, is more dense, more evolved. The reason is they practice Satya. What you think, what you plan for yourself, you do it, you will see your willpower will definitely improve, which will impact every other aspect of your life as well. So this was just a brief about Satya. Similarly, the practice of Asteya, Brahmacharya, and Aparigraha, these are practices to be done, not something to be just avoided. Coming to the second limb of yoga, that is niyama. Again, Maharishi Patanjali has given 5 niyama. Can anyone let me know what those 5 niyamas are? Any one niyam? So for the yamas, yeah, I'm just waiting for you as you're typing in the chat box. What are the niyamas, the 5 niyamas that he talks about? He says the 5 yamas are like Mahavrat. One has to do it. And you will find these 5 yamas, this concept also there in the Jainism. And Mahavir Jain also calls it as Mahavrata. We find similar concept in Buddhism as well. If any one of you have attended the Vipassana program, they talk about the Panchashil, which is very similar to the Panch Yamas. Now, when it comes to niyama is something that you should do as a daily routine, just like you bath. So saucha is one of those practice. I was waiting for those niyamas, but it didn't come up. So let me tell you, saucha is one of the niyama. The second one is santosh, saucha, santosh, tapas, swadhyay, and ishwar pranidhan. These are the 5 niyama. Today, I'm going to focus on only 2 of these niyamas. The second one, that is santosh. Again, a beautiful practice which has a very good impact when it comes to healing, when it comes to yoga chikitsa, yoga therapy. Santosh. What is santosh as a practice? I feel it is very important for all of us to know this. Yeah, thank you, Shruti ji, for typing that. The 5 niyamas, Saucha, Santosha, Tapas, Swadhyaya, Ishvara, Pranidhan. These are the 5 niyamas. So I'm focusing on the Santosh, the second niyam. Santosh is, again, it's a practice. The way I expressed about the yama, the first yama, that is Ahimsa, it has to be practiced. Similarly, Santosh. Often we misunderstand Santosh as, ठीक है, जो मिला उसमें संतोष कर लो. It is often treated as a very negative word at times. How do you practice? How do you practice Santosh? And if you do it in the right way, you will have good benefit out of it. If done in a wrong way, you will see no benefit out of it. And then you will say, yoga is outdated. This is 5,000-year-old science. It doesn't work for me. So one has to learn these practices first properly. Yeah, you're trying to give the English words acceptance, contentment, satisfaction. But how is contentment a practice? How is acceptance a practice? So Santosh, for me, the closest English word that I could come across, which is for Santosh as a practice, is gratitude. Gratitude. Gratitude literally means being thankful and grateful. Maharishi Patanjali has given 5 yamas and 5 niyamas, which he calls as the foundation of yoga practice. Now, when I say foundation, you can imagine like you have a pot, like an earthen pot. In fact, in Gharinda Samhita, the concept of ghata is given, that you are like an earthen pot. The asana practice, the pranayama practice, and the pratyahar, dharana, dhyan practices, the meditation, and all the practices that you do. In this vessel, you are bringing in more energy, more life energy into it. But imagine you have a vase, a pot, a utensil, which has holes in it. So you're pouring in water. That water is the new life energy, the healing energy that is coming in. And with these holes, all of it is going out. And this happens to many people. They start the asana practice, they start the pranayama practice, they start meditation. The first 2, 3 days, they feel amazing. Wow, yoga is amazing. They attend yoga nidra meditation. It works for them for 2, 3 days, and then it just stops working. They don't feel the same anymore. The main reason is, though you're getting in the energy, it is all flowing out from the holes that are there. And the only way to heal those holes, to fix those holes, is by the foundation practice of yama and niyama. And yamas and niyamas are, that's why, very important. Patanjali, I would say, was the first person to put the concept of yoga properly. He talks about the complete yoga, where the aspect of karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, raja yoga, hatha yoga, all are coming. And the second person I would say who has done this justice and gone even deeper, and he said yoga has to be integral, complete, was Maharishi Arvind. Sri Aurobindo and the mother, they are known as the rishis of the 20th century. The integral yoga given by Sri Aurobindo and the mother is really amazing. And if you are into yoga, I will highly recommend that you explore what is integral yoga. The word integral literally means complete. They have a beautiful ashram at Pondicherry, an experimental township in Auroville, where we practice practical spirituality. Just if you're meditating, visualizing certain things, hallucinating, and not doing anything for our Matrabhumi, not doing anything for Mother Earth, not taking care of nature, then that is not the practice of yoga. This is a big myth that people have, that yoga, spirituality, is against material. Material and spirituality are two different things. My dear friends, I know in the world, India looks like, India is known as the Vishwaguru. This, when we talk about spiritual knowledge, the first written text, it was the Vedas. It comes from India. But also remember, if we go back just 1,500 years back, India was not only great in spirituality, but also in material. We were one of the richest country, the highest GDP. Be it any other science, like metallurgy, we had advanced into that. Be it dramatics, be it dance, be it science, we were excelling in every field. The concept of Anu, atom, we find in the Gemini Darshan by Rishika. So we not only excelled in the spirituality, but also materialism. But somehow 1,500 years back, due to invasions, we somehow lost this knowledge. And we started saying that only spirituality is there, materialism is not good. So Sri Aurobindo has written a beautiful book called The Synthesis of Yoga, where he talks about this, that this is a wrong understanding. If at all there is a divine, a creator who has created this world, just that we leave this material world and run away from it, there is something fundamentally wrong about our understanding of spirituality. That is half yoga. Integral yoga is when you take care of the material world as well. The concept of Shakti is always there in the Hatha yogic practice. So if you visit Auroville, the township, the highest spiritual practice for them is taking care of this earth, our bhumi. I could see the logos that were there as part of this FDP, the Sustainable Development Goals given by United Nations. If we are not contributing towards them, we cannot really call ourselves spiritual. If we are cutting down tree, if we are contaminating the soil and the air, we cannot really call ourselves as yogi. So integral yoga, complete yoga comes with that understanding. Similar to Patanjali's yamas and niyamas, those 10 foundations in the integral yoga. Maharishi Aurobind and Mother has given 12 foundations. So there are 10 that we find in the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, and there are 12 we find in the integral yoga of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. Like sincerity, humility, gratitude, so on and so forth. You can read about them, the 12 living principles of integral yoga. Now, coming to the gratitude as a practice. Now, gratitude we find in integral yoga as well as santosha that is given by Maharishi Patanjali. How to practice gratitude? For what we should practice gratitude? Can I be grateful and thankful for everything that I have in my life? There are things that you may not like. I mean, you may have a boss that you do not like. You may have a mentor that you do not like. You may have a partner that you do not like. And can you say, thank you, God, for giving me? My friends, this form of santosha as a practice doesn't work. When we look at our mind, we have 5% conscious mind and 95% of our mind is subconscious, unconscious. If deep within your heart, you know that something is not true, you know that what you have today is not good, and you just say, and thank you for this, it will not work. Why? Because there will be a conflict within your mind. The 5% of the mind will try to say, this is good, this is good. And the 95% of the mind will say, I know this is not good. I know my boss is not good. How can I say thank you? So if you practice gratitude like this will not going to work. A lot of people do, they call it affirmation practices. Now, a foreign author has written a book, The Secret, which has become like one of the world's bestseller. But this deep knowledge comes from our yoga scriptures. And for what to be thankful is very important. Unless and until your subconscious and unconscious mind is convinced and you are saying thank you from the bottom of your heart, you're feeling it, it is not going to work. Then many will say, sir, I don't have anything great in my life. That means I cannot practice santosha. No, everyone can practice santosha. Before I share the practice, I want all of you to share in the chat box at least one good thing that is there in your life, if you can think of, that you are really thankful for. It could be the support that you get from your parents, an understanding partner, or the meal that you had, whatever. Can you share in the chat box one thing that you're deeply grateful for? And you can say thank you from your heart, including the 95%, the subconscious, unconscious mind. कि दिल से वो thank you निकले. Okay. Partner, great session. Thank you so much. Parents, house, food, and family. Parents, beautiful. Beautiful. Parents and caring partner. Parents, wow. Thank you. It's really nice to know that you have some blessings in your life कि जिसके लिए आप दिल से thank you बोल सकता है. I'm grateful I have very supportive parents and partners. Excellent. Thank you. Parents, food, my parents. Okay, let's do one practice. Can all of you lift your right hand? I'm going to shift this behind. Just lift your right hand and shake the fingers of right hand. Let's do this practice. I want all of you to do, including those who have not written anything. Lift your hand up, stretch up. Bring your hand down. Shake, 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 shake. Bring it down. Hold it close to your heart. With exhale, throw up. Now let's do with the left hand. Shake, 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 up, down. Keep your hand loose. Keep moving. Keep moving. Shake, 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 shake. Bring it close to your heart. Throw. Now let's do it with both hands. Shake your hands. Shake your hands. Shake, shake with a smile. Lift your hands up, down, up, down, up, right, left. Shake, 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 shake. Bring it close to your heart. Stay there. Inhale. With exhale, throw. Release your hand. Close your eyes and feel the sensations from your body. Can you feel your breath? Can you feel the various sensations in your body? Can we not say thank you for this? That we are able to feel our body, we can feel our breath. And I could see at least those 5-6 people who turned on their cameras and others who didn't turn on their cameras. I feel majority of you could move your fingers, could move your hand. You know, it's a blessing. Many can't do that. I've seen people who find it difficult to lift their hand. They have a frozen shoulder. They have pain in their hand, in their upper back. They can't lift it. And I've also seen people who do not even have a hand. So dear friends, we have hand that is functioning. Your 95% of the subconscious, unconscious mind can also say thank you from your heart, right? You have a good body that is functioning, right? So can you not express thanks for this? This is the practice of santosh, where you express gratitude from your depth of your heart for whatever you have in your life. That is good. That is good. जिसके लिए आपका 95% सबकॉन्शियस अनकॉन्शियस माइंड हाँ कहेगा ना, वही प्रैक्टिस आपके लिए बेनिफिशियल होगी. If you say something which your heart doesn't believe, it is not going to work for you. You keep on saying affirmation, I'll be the richest person, but deep within your heart, you have questions. Can I really be the richest person? None of my family members are richest person. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Unless and until your subconscious and unconscious mind believes you. I hope you understood the technique of Santosha, and this is a very powerful technique given by Maharishi Patanjali, not now, 2000 years back, and which is very much practical in today's time. I can see that our time is almost over, and I could just reach the second limb, and that too just one of the niyama, Santosha. There is tapas, there's much more than the asana, the pranayama, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. My main objective today was to make you all aware that what all yoga has to offer for all of us. It is not only asana and pranayama, these fundamental practices. And those who are into academics, who are into research, I would like all of you to explore these practices. And if you can take up some evidence-based researches to show what is the impact of practicing ahimsa, what is the impact of practicing santosha, it will be amazing. This is a great gift that India can offer to the world. In true sense, Bharat can become a Vishwaguru. And we can take up this as a mission. Our Honorable Prime Minister has given us this mission of India 2047, where India becoming the Vishwaguru for the world. Let us ourselves start these yoga practices. These are very simple techniques that will take only 2 minutes. Can we start doing that? 2 minutes of these practice. Feel the effect on ourselves and take it up for research. That's it from my side. And I express my gratitude to all of you for being here, for listening to me after having that heavy lunch, and I hope you could follow and understand what I had to share. Thank you very much. If there is any, maybe or any would like to share how you felt from this session, welcome for this.
Thank you, Mr. Sushant. Thank you for such an enlightening talk. And now I open the stage to our audience. If any of the participants want to ask any question, they can go ahead. or you can either talk by unmuting yourself, or you can type in the chat box. Getting comments of thank you, sir. Grateful, gratitude. Participants want the feedback link. Yes, I will share that. I think there is no question from the audience side. So really it was a wonderful session, and especially the quick meditation sessions that you organized to really feel calmful in any kind of situation when we feel very angry and very aggressive. So that was really fun, like especially the last session where we were using our fingers like that. So that was really fun. And the whole yogic perspective of Ashtanga yoga and Yama, Niyama, Asana, these are very elaborate things. I hope our participants understand that. And it will take, I think, a whole day for you to explain all these things. So maybe we can continue this discussion sometime further. And for today, it was really a great session. And I thank you on the behalf of all our organizing committee from Galgotias University and on behalf of all our participants. So in that continuation, I would like to present you with a digital memento as a gesture of our gratitude for your insightful session and gracious presence at this FTP. So kindly accept our digital memento, sir.
Thank you. I express my gratitude to you. Thank you. Thank you for this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you again.